all participants, good morning and hope you're all well and good. I'm Vignesh Ashmani, Assistant Manager for Technical and Training in IWMA and your host for the day. On behalf of our office bearers, executive members, speakers, and senior manager, I welcome you all for the IWMA's 11th webinar session on organic waste to fuel, individual and cluster approach for the industries. Dear all participants, now I welcome our chairman, Mr. K. Bhaskaran, to give us a welcome address. Mr. K. Bhaskaran has served as an executive member and presently a chairman of IWMA. He is also holds a position of secretary in Kakulur Industrial Estate Manufacturing Association and also A6 district chairman of e-waste management in the Lions Club. Our chairman is the CEO of Aarti Industries, an electroplating unit located in Ambattur, Kakulur and Padapai. Now, I welcome our chairman on behalf of all participants and the speaker. Welcome, sir.
Thanks, Vignesh.
Yes, sir.
Video, Vignesh.
Yes, sir.
Video is not coming. Good morning to all. On behalf of IWMA, I welcome you all for this today's program. I also welcome our today's speakers from Kuppikaran. Very good topic. Actually, they are not the Kuppikaran. In fact, we are all the Kuppikaran because we only throw them the waste. And நம்ம குப்பையை வந்து வேஸ்டா தூக்கி போடுறோம். ஸோ அதுதான் we are saying that குப்பைக்காரன் வந்து எடுத்துட்டு போயிடுவான் அப்படின்னு. Nothing. See, நம்ம segregate and if you keep all the waste in segregated manner, then it can be reused. So that is a topic they are going to cover. They are from actually Kuppikaran Waste Management Private Limited. I welcome Mr. Chaitanyan, founder MD. I also welcome Mr. Chamalmani, co-founder and mentor for Kuppikaran. And I also welcome our office bearers, our joint secretary Thirinjanam sir, and our secretary Palnichami, and vice chairman Jagannath sir, and treasurer Mr. Suresh. And some of the EC members, actually they will participating, Devi madam and all. And of course, from MHRD, Mr. Naveen is also here. That is Mahatma Gandhi Rural Institute of Central Government Project. It's called MHRD. So he is also, I think, participating. Welcome you, sir. And IAP and senior delegates has come. Apart from this, industries from Tamil Nadu, various industries from Tamil Nadu, I also welcome you all for a wonderful program. Actually, in IWMA was formed under the guidance of Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board in 1999. Our government has given a land from SIPCA 27 acres at Gumudi Pundi. Actually, we have appointed service provider for Ramki group of companies. So they are only handling all the hazardous waste, and that is our common CSW DSTF facility. Their incineration is also there, and scientific landfill is also there. Recently, we got another 32 acres in Gumudi Pundi, and we are also moving to from Chennai to outside for Bargur. They got recently 25 acres because we are dividing into 3 places in Tamil Nadu, so that transportation cost will come down, and as well as because of the traveling carbon and all emission will be there. You know, that emission we can try to avoid. So that only, because of that only we have gone to Bargur. So we are planning to start maybe another 6 months as a landfill activities only there. For any incineration, it will come to Chennai only. But of course, Madurai, we have tie up with our service provider's own land in Madurai. So that is also we are taking care, actually monitored by IWMA. So surrounding Madurai and all, you can go there. Any hazardous waste, you can give it to them. That is our site. And site monitoring, we have tie up with IIT Madras to conduct once a year. We ask them to do audit. So it has been monitored by IIT for landfill, scientific landfill, as well as incineration facilities. Apart from this, we are also doing some CSR activities for the students to bring the knowledge from 5th to 12th. Apart from their syllabus, we have tie up with IIT Madras. IIT, thanks to IIT Madras, they are giving a platform to perform the students actually. See, actually, it is a 8 to 9 months program from various schools from in and around of Chennai. They will come. First, initially, 2-3 preliminary things will be there. Then, finally, they will come and present there. So, presentation will be live presentation. It is not like the Google and they will come and present. So, and topic is also related to environment. So they can go for alternate fuel method, something like a small level they do actually. They are doing a fantastic job actually. Every year we are getting good students and they are presenting, they are getting awards. We are giving Young Environment Scientist Award. Every year we are giving it IIT Madras. Some of the students got the award after a few years. They came back and so told us, so because of your motivation, I went to somewhere US and all. So that kind of thing is there because nowadays environment is also plays major role actually. And like that, we have gone to PhD college, Coimbatore. Last year we did in PhD college. So apart from this, we are having tie-up with IIT Madras and US Consulate conducting Carbon Zero Challenge to the engineering college students. Actually, South India level we have gone actually for the engineering colleges. Engineering college students, 425 students, they came and presented their innovations. So that one of the innovation, it has gone to Prime Minister level to get some awards. So that is a big achievement we had along with IIT Madras and US Consulate and Polaris. So we 4 of them conducted at IIT. So this kind of program we are keep on conducting. Apart from this, Ministry of Human Resource Development Switch Action Plan through my believable friend Mr. BSc Naveen Kumar, senior faculty from MH or Hyderabad. He is with me for last 1 month. As of now, I think we have conducted. He has conducted almost 30 programs about all kind of waste to all the colleges, arts and science colleges, in the leading universities and teaching universities. In fact, from IWM side, I have participated almost 6-7 programs. Thanks to them. And we are also, last year, we have started with Madurai Kamarajar University for postgraduate plating, actually, electroplating. So for 23 students we got, and 23 of them placed for electroplating. See, ETP operator, actually. It is a ETP operator and laboratory. So it's a good sign. Because next 2 years, and one of the big leading company, Brex India, has told from Madurai Kamarajar University, next 2 years we will take all the students who is coming for, because they got a limited seats, 25 seats. So next 2 years they said they will take all the students. So that kind of rapport is there with thanks to Madurai Kamarajar University and IWM has jointly done this. So first action itself, we got very good response. We are planning to have like this so many universities. Just 2 days back, I have spoken to Vice Chancellor of Manoormani University. They are also interested to start kind of degree course for waste management. So they want to sign up with agreement. Maybe this year, I think it will not happen. Maybe next year it's going to happen for waste management only. And simultaneously, we are planning to have this kind of webinars for next couple of days for maybe to pandemic Saturday. That 2 Saturdays, 11 o'clock. Please support. In some of the waste, actually, I want to share something. Even plastic waste can be reused. In fact, a PET bottle can be reused. Don't throw away because it is going to affect our. Don't think that we are going on the road. So we will not leave. But animal seeds, no, what will happen? So again, it is a problem for them. Maybe if not animal, also one of our relative will be there. So what will happen? That the plastic will not compose for next 500 years. Instead of that, we can give it to some recyclers. In fact, we have put one mission in Coimbatore near my offices. IWMA offices in Coimbatore. There in bus stand, we have put that machine actually. So if you give that PET bottle, that will give you some coupon also. Maybe 5-10% discount will be there in surrounding hotels or coffee shop. So maybe to encourage you, that PET bottle, what we are doing in cap, we are removing and we are giving it to recycler. And same way that plastic cover is there, that we are removing and giving it to another recycler. Same way bottle also, it has been recycled. And lot of startups are coming out. So we are giving employment to them. So from waste, how the business is coming out. You can see same way milk cover. Recently, Tamil Nadu government is taking back the milk covers. From milk covers, 10 paisa they are giving actually. Milk cover will not get composed. So that is again one person is there in my Kakulur Industrial Estate. He is doing that. He is converting milk cover into raw material for tarpaulin industry. See, everything can be converted. Only thing is you have to come with reduce at source, segregate at source, and maybe some cases you can reduce your waste also, and it is reuse, recycle. So all these things are there, but you have to segregate and give it to us. Same way for the thermocol, we can give because a lot of thermocol is coming from the industries. One madam is there. One madam is ready to take number of thermocols she needs because they are giving it to saree manufacturers actually for decorative purpose they are using. Same way cotton and it is from Ambattur Industrial Estate already we have started. Already we are getting some 5 to 10 tons material that has been cut and shared to from there, co-processing it and sending it to cement industry. Cement industry needs that actually. Instead of coil, they are taking that cotton waste as a raw material for fuel, alternate fuel actually. So previously what we do, cotton waste, we throw away them from the roadside actually. But nowadays it is not happening. Because cement industries for 25%, 20 to 25% they are taking. Even some of the waste, hazardous waste they are taking actually. Hazardous waste in the two way they are taking actually. As a raw material also, if lime content is high, they will take as a raw material. For calorific value is high, they are taking as a fuel. So that two option is there. So nowadays cement industries are coming. So please do give your problems maybe for the industries from Tamil Nadu industries, from IWMA industries. If you have any problem or you want to upgrade your waste to wealth, maybe you can contact us. We will do. Today we have a wonderful topic, waste to wealth. Actually, a very good topic. We have to listen to this speakers. Thanks once again. I welcome you again, Kuppaikaran sir. Sir, sorry, Kuppaikaran meaning we are very much impressed in fact. Because நீங்க தான் குப்பைக்காரன் சொல்றீங்க ஓப்பனா, பட் people are குப்பைக்காரன்ஸ் ஆக்சுவலி. நம்ம இன்ஃபேக்ட் என்னோட வீட்டுல இருந்து குப்பை தூக்கி போறீங்களா, நான் கூட ஒரு குப்பைக்காரன் தான். ஏன்னா நான் தான் ப்ரொடியூசர், ஐ அம் த ரெஸ்பான்சிபிள் பர்சன். அதை செக்ரிகேட்டட் இஃப் யூ கிவ் இட் டு தெம், ஸோ கண்டிப்பா அதை வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு ரா மெட்டீரியல் அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு ரா மெட்டீரியலாவோ இல்ல வந்து நம்ம பண்ணலாம். இது இ வேஸ்ட்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா நிறைய இ வேஸ்ட் ஜஸ்ட் லைக் தட் த்ரோயிங் அவே. ஏன்னா நம்மளுடைய முன்னோர்கள்லாம் என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா இந்த மாதிரிலாம் பண்ணதே கிடையாது. எதுவுமே ரோட்ல இருக்காது, எவ்ரிதிங் வில் பி கம்போஸ்ட். அந்த மாதிரி சிஸ்டம் தே அடாப்டட். பட் நவ் பாப்புலேஷன் இஸ் கான் அண்ட் வி ஆர் நாட் அடாப்டிங். ஸோ இப்போ அகைன் வி ஹேவ் டு கோ பேக். இந்த பேண்டமிக் டைம்ல நிறைய திங்ஸ் ஹஸ் ஹேப்பன். தேங்க் யூ ஃபார் கமிங் ஹியர் அண்ட் கிவிங் டு அவர் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி சார். தேங்க் யூ விக்னேஷ்.
Yes, sir. Thank you for welcoming our speakers and attendees, sir. And today, a short brief about Kuppaikaran Waste Management Private Limited. Kuppaikaran has installed over 500 biomethanization plants across the country, handled projects in the area like dairy industries, distilleries, biofertilizer industries, bioplastic, wastewater treatment systems. Kuppaikaran are the Industrial Partners for CSIR, National Institute for the Interdisciplinary Science and Technology, and the only Indian vendor for Infosys carbon neutral program for supplying 500 prefabricated biomethanization plant. Kupikaran also selected among the top 25 startups by CEI Tech and among top 10 startups by the Climate Collectivity. And Kupikaran has given a guest lecture addressed to 15,000 students on entrepreneurship, water management, sustainability, anaerobic digestion, and wastewater treatment and systems, etc. Without any further ado, we will start our session for the day with the two expert speakers, Mr. Chaitanya, Founder Managing Director, Kupikaran Waste Management Private Limited. I welcome Chaitanya, and about Chaitanya, he has completed his bachelor degree in mechanical and master of arts in political science in Madurai Kamaraj University, and pursuing his water and wastewater treatment EDX Tsinghua University, Beijing, China. He is also founder, CEO of the Green Connect and manufacturer of waste management equipment, sustainable consultant, and expert in anaerobic experience in solid and liquid waste management, especially in biodegradable waste. On behalf of all the participants and IWMA office bearers and executive members, I welcome Chaitanya for the day. And also we have one more speaker of the day, Mr. Tamal Manian, co-founder and the mentor of Kupikaran Waste Management Private Limited. He had completed his academic qualification in BSc Botany and post-graduation diploma in marketing management. Mr. Tamal Manian is an environmentalist and a waste and natural lover, and as a part of it, he has work experience of 24 years of health industry and 6 years of environmental health and energy solution renewable energy. Pioneer in health and care channel management in Tamil Nadu, involved in bringing air conditioned free to use public toilet in Tamil Nadu, organized the first international expo on water, energy and environmental in Chennai, member of Madras Management Association and member of CII, and also associated with the Circular Economic Foundation. I welcome you, sir, and the session is over to you, sir.
Thank you. So, a very good morning to everybody present here. A special thanks to IWMA for giving us this opportunity to present. IWMA has been doing this excellent job of connecting various industries with best of technologies for their waste management. So with this small brief thanks note, I would like to begin our session. Vignesh, am I audible?
Yes, Chaitu, you are loud and clear.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, yeah, you are right now sharing the screen. Yes, we are able to see the Kupikaran's PPT.
Okay. So to all the participants here, I hope you are seeing this picture on your screen. Can you just type out in your chat box what you are able to see here on the screen? Participants, can you just type out what you see on the screen? I want this session to be very interactive so that we can give the maximum knowledge to you. Waste, yes. Landfill, yes. Dump yard, good. Only 3 have responded. Waste are mounted. Garbage dump, accumulated waste, fine. So, yes. So many people are responding here. Very good. So this is our perception of waste. Like what we look at this is a landfill. So what we see in the picture here are few people who are having something on their heads. Now, can you share what it is? What do you see? What are these people doing? What are they having on their heads? They are waste collectors. Yes. So the reality here, what we want to achieve out of this meeting is about our perception of waste. What we look at waste is not actually waste. So these are the people, these are the thousands and thousands of people who are working towards a circular economy. What we see in the picture here is an industry which is polluting a lot. You can see the smoke there. That is our perception. But what exactly is the reality? Yes. The reality is that today, fly ash is converted into bricks. It is made into a very valuable resource. As a matter of fact, 63% of the fly ash that is generated from coal industries is being converted, is being reused as fly ash or some form of the other. And today, India is a country which is exporting fly ash to various countries. So all this change happens once our perception of waste changes. So today in this particular session, in the 40-45 minutes that we are given, both of us, Mr. Tamal Manian and myself, are going to try our level best to see how we can change our perception of waste. And coming to this problem, what we look at today as a waste, India is the second largest producer of municipal solid waste in the world at a whopping 1.5 lakh tons of waste every day. And 50% of this waste is wet waste or organic waste. So this is one problem according to us. And the second problem we are facing today is the huge energy demand. India is the second largest consumer of LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, at a whopping 24.9 million tons of LPG in the year 2018 and 2019. This is a straight jump of 53% just 5 years back. So the energy requirements of this growing developing country is increasing day by day, and we today are looking at it as a problem. So we are here today to change that perception. What if we can use this massive, huge quantities of waste to generate clean fuel? What if we are able to manage all of this waste and also produce organic manure? Will that not be very beautiful? Will that not be a very big boon for our country? So how can we do this? So today we are talking about the concept conversion of organic waste into a fuel. So the process of conversion of organic waste into fuel is called as anaerobic digestion. So we are going to degrade all such waste, such as agriculture waste, food waste, paper waste, waste from cattle, dairy waste, into something called as biogas. So the process that is utilized, that is used for this conversion is called as anaerobic digestion or biomethanation. So in this particular process, we are going to break down these organic waste with the help of anaerobic bacteria which live in the absence of oxygen, and convert it into biogas. So let us briefly have a look at this technology. So all this food waste, vegetable waste are broken down into smaller particles. These polymers are broken down into smaller particles using the process what is called as hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means nothing but breaking down. Lysis means breaking down. So breaking down of larger molecules into smaller molecules. That's the first step. And the second process is the conversion of this waste into acetic acid. So this broken down particles are converted into acetic acid, which is CH3COOH. So this process is called as acetogenesis. And the bacteria which are involved are acetogenic bacteria. They are aerobic bacteria. So and the final process is the conversion of this acetic acid into methane and carbon dioxide. As a matter of fact, methane is the cleanest hydrocarbon today we have on Earth. Methane is CH4, one molecule which is having one carbon atom and 4 hydrogen atoms. Whereas LPG is propane and butane, which is C3H8. So when one molecule of methane is burnt, we are generating around one molecule of CO2 because it has one carbon. Whereas in propane and butane, we have more number of carbon atoms. So more amount of carbon dioxide is released. So methane is also called as the safest and also the cleanest hydrocarbon on Earth. So this biogas that is produced out of this process will have around 60% of methane, 40% of carbon dioxide, and traces of hydrogen sulfide and water vapor. So now I'm going to share about how much of gas can our waste generate. So starting from cow dung up to coconut waste and sawdust, we can see how much of gas is generated. So 1 ton is 1000 kgs, 45 cum is cubic meters. So 1 ton of cow dung will generate around 45 cubic meters of biogas. So when we say cubic meters of biogas, so 1 cubic meter of biogas is around 1000 liters of biogas and around 0.43 kgs of methane from 1 cubic meter of gas. So now we can see we have given an example of around 15-20 different types of waste. So right from cow dung to poultry waste, paper waste to leather industries, rice husk, napier grass. So there are different types of waste materials which can be put inside this biomethanation plant. And also we can use this industrial STP sludge, sewage treatment plant. In case your industries or your institutions have these sewage treatment plants, you will be generating huge quantities of sewage sludge. So this sludge as well can be used for generation of this renewable energy. Yes. So now, can you see what is in this picture? So I want the participants to type out. What do you see in this picture? Incineration, fire, okay. So this is called as stubble burning. Exactly, Mr. Nirmal Gandhi has said stubble burning. Subhakar and Saini, stubble burning in Punjab, Haryana, right? Some crops set on fire. Yes. So we know that Delhi is the most polluted city in the country. The air quality is so poor that the government has to declare holidays for the school going children. So we are in such times where the air quality is so poor. So there are some statistics which says that living in Delhi for one day is like smoking 25 cigarettes a day. So, one of the major reasons for this is stubble burning in the nearby states like Haryana and Punjab. So when stubble is burnt in these states, the air quality in Delhi goes very, very bad. So today we are looking at this technology where this very same stubble can be used for generation of clean renewable energy. So even the stubble can be used for generation of high quality biogas, which in turn can be used for various thermal and transportation purpose and even for electricity generation. Now I'm going to share about our experiences of working with different industries and how different industries have benefited from their own waste just because their perception of waste was different from the rest of the crowd. Just because they thought that this waste can be put to some good use, they have reaped rich dividends. Each and every industry has reaped rich dividends. So I can share first and foremost about various industries which have industrial canteens. So we have 400 plus biomethanation plants installed in various industrial canteens, wherein their industrial food waste, canteen vegetable waste is utilized for the generation of biogas. So this biogas is again used to replace their LPG requirements. So their consumption of LPG has come down drastically by utilizing their food and vegetable waste. So the second example is the dairy industry. So this dairy industry also around 10 years back was a highly polluting industry. There were farmers, landowners near these industries who used to come up in arms to these factories demanding the closure of these factories. And the reason? Their wastewater. I come from a city called Salem, and here we have a dairy which is generating around 5 to 7 lakh liters of wastewater daily. 10 years back, this wastewater treatment was a huge problem for them. But then this wonderful technology of generation of biogas from wastewater was developed. Waste, which was once considered as a huge problem, then became a boon for them. They started generating biogas out of it, and today their entire wastewater treatment is run from the electricity that is generated from this particular biogas. So this particular technology is called as UASBR, so which is upflow anaerobic sludge blanket reactor. So, to explain this in a much simple terms, we all would be using milk in our homes. We boil milk in our homes, and on a daily basis, when we wash the milk vessel, we find a lot of milk particles attached to it, and the water that comes from the washing of the vessel is slightly white in color. That is because of the milk attached to the vessel. Imagine a company which is processing around 5 lakh liters of milk on a daily basis. How much quantity of wastewater they would be generating, and how much of energy can be generated from that? So one such example is the Hudson Dairy, where they are utilizing this wastewater for generation of electricity. The next is the paper industry. Paper industry have also huge quantities of wastewater that is generated in the process of manufacturing of paper. So this wastewater, which is high in chemical oxygen demand, is utilized for generation of biogas. And then we have the poultry industry and the cattle dung. So poultry industry today in Tamil Nadu, Namakkal is the number one. In fact, for the entire country, Namakkal is the egg supplier. So they are the leading producers of egg and chicken. So these industrial belts, these clusters have huge quantities of poultry litter and related waste. So this poultry litter can be utilized for generation of biogas and conversion of that into a very good fuel. And last month we had our Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy inaugurating one of the biogas plants in Namakkal by the name IoT. So this gas that is generated is utilized for transportation purposes. Mr. Tamil Manian will brief about that in detail. And then we have experience in working with PLA, which is polylactic acid. We have worked with this Netherlands-based company called Total Corbion. So these waste plastic cups are utilized for generation of biogas. And also we have worked with biofertilizer industry, tea stains, wherein their media waste is used for generation of biogas. And then this is this beautiful project we are currently pursuing along with Infosys. So this Infosys company is the first Indian company to be declared carbon neutral. And the Infosys won the United Nations Global Climate Action Award for climate neutral now. And we are happy to share that we are their Indian vendor for manufacturing 500 such biomethanation plants and installing in various districts of Karnataka. So this particular biomethanation plants is also a part of their CSR budget. And each single biogas plant has the potential to replace, offset about 3 to 5 tons of carbon dioxide every year. And it is fulfilling around 10 sustainability development goals by the United Nations, including poverty, zero hunger, clean air. So these people who are living in remote villages use firewood, and when they use firewood for cooking, the smoke affects their indoor air quality and it causes various health problems. So the alternative for that is a clean renewable fuel, which is obtained from their cattle dung and other household waste. So that is one more example of our project. So with this, I would like to invite our co-founder and mentor, Mr. Tamil Manian, to share.
Welcome, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chaitanya, and thanks for the IWMA and Mr. Bhaskaran sir. And I'll also like to recognize the presence of my esteemed colleagues from Circular Economy Foundation, Mr. NC sir and Shailendra Singh. And once again, thanks. And just to continuity of this presentation, see, like as we have been discussing, see what Mr. Chaitanya was presenting is, as of now, what we are doing, how the industry is working. Yes, as Mr. Bhaskaran was telling right from the beginning, no, like people have to invest and so many things, and so, the things are there. But considering the conditions of today, and I would like to thank pandemic, Corona, for making the people to have a better awareness about our own environment. We have understood what is need and what is want. So we have been, because of the economy, like we have been buying, we want to be very easy. Our life has to be very easy. So we wanted to invest on the product which is being used through. So we only use the product. Actually, I need only a water. Why should I buy it in a bottle? I need only a paste. Why should I buy it in a plastic tube? So those things we have forgotten because it's for the convenience. We have been adapted to a certain things. But now we have realized, oh, what we have done for the past 30 years, how it has been impacting. See, nature is like we all consider that as a god for us. So when we don't respect the god, that will also have its own repercussions. And so with this small background and the next level of using the biogas. See, what is the biggest challenge in waste management? As everybody knows that collection, segregation, these are one of the biggest challenge. And one more biggest challenge, what we have observed during our experience is the quality, the quantity, and the quality and the quantity of the waste. See, with a smaller quantity, it is not viable for a bigger companies or a larger to do the larger things. Though we can talk about, as my Mr. Sarendra Singh always tells me, yeah, there are people only talk. We are only talking, but there are only very less doers. So what can we do, Tamil? So can we do something on that? Then with the input of my friends and my colleague, Mr. Chanyan, and with the people like IWMA, the industry, and we thought that though we have been using that biogas on a captive use, wherever the waste is generated, just to manage their campus, within their campus, to make it a zero waste, and we are converting that into energy. Then we thought, why don't we do that? And not only we, as an industry, this bio-CNG concept has come out for the past 2-3 years. And I'm really very sorry to say that North has taken this as a boom. So there are a lot many plants has been already established in North India, especially in Gujarat, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, those things. But South has definitely, now it has opened up their eyes, and they are also going to bring this bio-CNG plants. What is the difference between bio-CNG and the biogas? See, biogas is a captive. See, we just put a plant within the campus and we use it, and it's very economical, and it can be used only in that place. I cannot use it to the next building. But whatever I am generating, I can use it. That will be captive. And considering that what is happening today, like suppose for an example, an industry, an average outcome of a waste outcome, organic waste outcome for an individual is around 300 grams per day. Suppose there are about 1,000 employees are working. I am getting about 100 kgs of waste every day. The 100 kgs can generate almost about 7 to 8 kgs of LPG equivalent gas, which will be only about 10 to 12% of the total energy consumption. But there is a need, but still they are buying another 80% from outside, paying every day. But what is the advantage of bio-CNG? Say, I have a space. If you all recollect, the first slide was what Mr. Chaitanya has showed us. It was like we have seen mountains of waste. There are about, in Chennai alone, it's about 2,500 tons of waste is getting generated. I'm talking about total waste is about 5,000 tons, out of which 50% is close to 50%, about 2,500 tons of organic waste is getting generated. If I convert that into an energy, how many industries can be run? How many lights, houses can be lit by the electricity? So these are things that happen. The world has looked at waste in a different way. And I'm really very thankful, though we have been working for the past 6-7 years and to make this happen. Only the world has opened up now. The people are having more awareness, and I'm as a team of Chaitanya, we are a part of this to make this awareness first and the foremost. As we have been reaching out to the students, to the industries, academia here, and today we are able to form a wonderful team with trade, with the industry, with the academia. So this will help as a circular again. We use our strengths for each other's development. And just coming back to the bio-CNG, which is suitable for biogas generation, which is starting from 2,000 cubic meters per day, which almost whatever we are planning is about 70 tons of waste can generate around 2,000 cubic meters of biogas, LPG gas equivalent day. And the storage, we store it at a cylinder, which is at the 250 to 250 bar, which is compressed like any other, like our LPG cylinders, and it is being given in a cascade form, as we can see in the picture. And it's a complete turnkey project. What we talk about, up to PESO license, we will be doing the PESO license. And compressed biogas is cheaper and cleaner, and distribution is easier for CBG over long distances via pipeline. Even the government of India, they are also laying the ground pipes through the country for the supply of these natural gases. Okay, next. So just to give a brief about this, this is a compressed biogas, a new revolution in transportation fuel, which has been supported by a scheme which has been supported by the Ministry of Petroleum and Fertilizers. The scheme is called as a SATAT. SATAT is a scheme which supports for the mass production of bio-CNG as an automobile fuel. When it is jointly done by the oil companies like IOCL, Bharat Petroleum, GAIL, Indraprastha, and all these oil companies throughout the country, they join together and they support this program called SATAT. The only requirement, they requirement is to generate almost around 2,000 kgs of LPG equivalent gas, so that they will buy it from us directly. The oil companies will buy the stock. I mean, it's whatever we produce, the gas will be purchased by the oil company and will be redistributed through their petrol bunks or fuel stations, whatever it is. And the next thing is, we also generate almost around 14 tons of organic manure out of it, which again the central government organizations like IFCO, they support us in marketing this. So this is basically one of the good schemes which has come to make the waste into wealth. So I only request that the people, wherever it is possible, we have to make use of this waste, and we have to make it as a wealth. And we personally always say, no, today like the cow dung is costing about 1 rupee per kg. Tomorrow, I don't know. I have my own doubt. The commissioner of Chennai was telling us one day, maybe down the line after 10 years, I have to pay for my waste. We have to pay at least 1 rupee, 2 rupees per kg to buy the waste to generate something else. So that day is not so far. So before that, no, we would like to utilize that whatever is available and make use of it in a more circular way. And next. Chetan? So with all of you, see, like we have been talking about bio-CNG. I will just take about, say, a few minutes to show this video. You will find it very interesting, which is our associates plant, which has done, we have done this about 4 years before in Gujarat, near Ahmedabad. It's a pig industry. And this is a 210 ton capacity bio-CNG plant. This plant has been done even before the SATAT scheme or the government has been doing any support for this measures. This gentleman who has invested is basically an agripreneur, and he is a major supplier of tobacco for the ITC. And he wanted to do something back to the society. He thought that why don't we invest on this and make it as a circular. And he has got a lot of agricultural waste. And as you can observe that you have seen 4 tomes. The 3 are the digesters. Each consists of about 70 tons. The smaller one is the pure, alternative digester for us. And this project is done about 4 years before, and now this one of the, even now as of today, this is one of the largest biogas bio-CNG plant which is available in India from a private organization. And he is not doing any supplying to the gas is not supplied to any of the oil companies also. Actually, he gets the waste from Amul factory, and there are factories which manufacture these chips like from Pepsi and all those things. They bring all those waste here. They use multiple waste here, and they generate almost around 7,000 to 8,000 kilos of LPG every day. And as we can observe, it is a clean industry. It is not being dominated by, it's not a, human dependent industry, and all are automated, and with the SCADA and the technology, and the best part of it is you will not find even a single smell there. So this has inspired us after seeing this, like why don't we do something here in our part of the country? And certain initiatives are taken, and we are happy that we are also going to bring some projects in Tamil Nadu, which will be very shortly, which will be, another 6 months, because of the COVID is getting delayed. Otherwise, we will be shortly doing that also. So Chetan, close. Chetan, next. Sir, so now having given the background of what is biogas, what is bio-CNG, again, I am also asking a question like Chaitanya is asking, like all of us. So what is our perception after seeing this? So what is our perception about this slide what you're seeing or the picture what you're seeing. Maybe I'll be very happy if some of my participants can. Food waste, fantastic. Food waste from Mr. Tirupati is a hotelier. He is the president of Madurai Hotel, Tamil Nadu Hotel Owners Association. Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Tirupati, to join with us. See, a hotelier sees that as a waste. Yeah, thank you. So nice of you. Anybody else? An organic waste generated. Yeah, thank you, Subhankar. Organic manure. Yes, very good. Excellent. Okay, see, everybody has got their own ways of seeing things. Two participants raise the hand. Maybe if you want to allow them, please allow them to ask the questions also if they want to ask right now. Vignesh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah.
So, or we can have a Q&A session at last.
Oh, fine. No problem. Yeah. No problem. Yeah, sure. So, like everybody has got their own perception. We see this in different ways. Yeah, fine. Excellent. Check it next. But I see this as, or rather we see this as, somebody can comment? I see this as, fantastic, here. Fuel. See, actually we doesn't know what is there. We only see the petrol or we only see the diesel. But that has also come from the environment. That has also come from our ground. We have only taken it from there. So we see this, a box containing a food waste. For me, for us, it looks us like it is a fuel tanker. This is going to feed, this is going to give me a fuel. It's an opportunity to realize. Exactly. Somebody has written it fantastically. So next. So how many of you agree with me? So is it okay? My perception is right, or rather our perception is right. And before getting on to our new thought process, or our innovative thought process in this is, thank you very much for your feedback. And before that, let me also have for a poll. Mr. Vignesh, I would like to just know the poll, Vignesh.
Yes, sir. Just
yeah, a small poll. I just like to know the usage of LPG.
Sir, is it visible on the screen, sir?
No, not yet coming.
I think everybody can vote in the poll by going on the top. There is a small icon called polls.
Yeah.
So you can click that and then you can give your feedback. Participants can do that.
Okay, otherwise forget about it. Okay, as we are running short of the time. See, like I just want to know how many of us, being the industrial partners who have been partner here, using more than about 300 kgs of waste, 300 kgs of LPG per day, and if so, how much? That is the only question which I would like to know, so that we can elaborate it in a much better way. So coming back to our discussion on the biofuel clusters and then our innovations. See, like as we all observe, as we have heard about the biogas as a captive use within the company with their own waste, which being used as a captive power. And next we talked about the bio-CNG. We do the bio-CNG, compress it, and we should give assembly to different places as in the cascades. And this what we thought about is this is a combination of both. See, for a CNG plant, it is costing in crores. We had to invest about 9 crores, 10 crores, 15 crores for that. But not all industry friends may not be able to invest that kind of investment. And I'm very sure that during my interactions, we came to understand that they are also like to be environmental friendly as we are. But we have to support them. So how we can support the industry? As we have a good relationship with the IWMA, which we have been always interacting with the IWMA, and we have been participating in the programs. As we are interacting with them, we came to understand, and we also we came to understand that the issue is that the captive investment first. How much I cannot invest that much, and where will I go for that kind of a waste? So what we are thinking, what we are telling is normally there is a perception with us, like we don't allow the waste to come inside our factory, or we don't come inside. So that is why we don't show waste as a waste. It is going to be a crust, and we are going to bring it in a tanker like any other fuel, like petrol or diesel. We will also put it in the tank for the energy generation. So nobody is going to see the waste which is going to be there, and it will be maintained in a very clean way. And the idea behind this is, why don't we have, see, the biggest cost comes for us in CNG is on the compression part of it and the cascade part of it. If you avoid that, I bring the captive use, and I bring a common place where I can make the digestion part of it. Pre-digestive part can be done by us. We can connect both the things, which will reduce almost around 40-50% of the total cost. And for an industrial estate like SIDCO, for example, Mr. Bhaskaran sir will help me out. There are about in Perangal, in Hyundai, where we have in the industrial area of Perangal to Sriperumbudur, I was told that there are almost around 2,000 industries are available. So all these 2,000 industrial wastes are getting brought into a common place. We make a common pre-digestive place, and we transport this pre-digested thing to the industries separate individually. So if I'm able to get about 50 tons of waste, rather than having one plant, I'm going to have one pre-digester outside, and all other things will be done in the 5 different factories. So that now this will also give an impetus for them to get a cleaner and a cheaper and a much more efficient energy when compared with the LPG. When it is compressed, the biogas, the energy is higher than the LPG. Likewise, today the industry is buying at the rate of around 60 to 65 rupees per kg. But whereas they will get about 20% less on their energy cost. So directly it impacts on the bottom line, and especially during the pandemic, where the companies are really, the industries are struggling to manage the shows. This will be one of the options which reduces their production cost on a long run. And this is the idea behind this. And this biofuel clusters will be converted into waste into fuel. And as I was telling you, a centralized pre-treatment plant will be there, and feedstock supply to several biogas digesters, and gas supply of individual industries who uses minimum of around 300 kgs per day. 300 kgs per day with this waste, when we produce, say it is about 15,000 rupees per day, and it's about 4.5 lakhs per month. Yeah, on an average, an year, it's almost around 50 lakhs, which they will recover their investment within about 1.5 years. Which is one of if you see even the ROI, it is other earliest, and this will be useful for about another 15 to 20 years, where this technology can be used to reduce the manufacturing cost itself. So the production cost comes down. And how the biofuel cluster works, as we can observe, this is the collection. As I was telling you, this center will be there outside the industry, and the collection point. And what will be the industry, the feedstock and the purification of raw biogas, and metering of the purified biogas usage, and slurry will be generated, and it will be again back by the Kopekaran. So we will take back even the waste which is coming out after manufacturing the biogas, methane. We will also take the slurry back to our collection point. So nothing will be left out in the industry. So we also make it very cleaner and the systematic and in a closed manner. And this waste, what we have been perceived that as nothing, it is going to be a profitable proposition for the industries. And it is not all, what are all the impacts in that? Not only the not only the fuel, but also how it improves not only improves the circular economy, but also it reduces the cost. As I was telling you, transportation is minimized, crushing is common, and digestion takes place there, and purification, utilization directly, and there is almost around 50% reduction in the process, and 50% reduction in the transportation, and on-site waste, and no on-site waste handling. What I mean is, we don't handle the waste within the premises of the industry. We do all those things outside the industry, we bring that as in the slurry form or a semi-solid form. We just pump it into the digester. Then automatically on a daily basis, they will be producing their required energy. Whatever, if it is a 10-ton plant, the minimum expected LPG per day, LPG equivalent methane per day is almost around 3 to 320 kgs, which is, that is what I was discussing with you in the previous slide. It's almost around 15,000 rupees. So suppose there is a cost, whatever we design, the return of investment has to be within about 2 years maximum. And today, what is the advantage? There is a waste which people doesn't know how to manage it. And we in Kuppai Karan, we don't talk about much about the management. See, management is to cover up. See, rather than covering up, we want to give a solution. We will use the waste and we will do it, and even the slurry that becomes an organic manure that is again goes to the van. So it is again a circular form. Next. So just coming back to our Kuppai Karan, what is our vision and mission? This is to achieve our zero waste by applying the principles of circular economy and building economic, natural and social capital. And our vision is to ensure that waste is neither created nor destroyed, but everything is converted from one resource to another resource. This is our vision, which most of us are today are almost thinking in the same line. And I'm really very happy that we are also able to visualize the same thing. And our products are biomethane plant, bio-CNG, and waste to water treatment plants, organic waste composting machines, and reverse vending machines. And this is what Mr. Bhaskaran was referring in the beginning. The waste bottles are put into, and they have been incentivized to put the bottles in the right way, and so that it goes to the right customer, right recycling people, so that it will be done in a proper way. This again, the reverse vending machine is also part of the machine which can improve the circular economy. There are people in European countries, like in developed countries, these reverse vending machines are available in almost all key department stores. So they put it and they take the incentivize, and they do the same money to purchase the other products. Next. So we use a unique technology in our biogas that's called the UDOW, Uniformly Distributed Organic Waste Reactor for superior waste inside the digester. And it's an advanced system which works on solid waste, solid state digestion. And we have got a remote monitoring plant health. We can also use this like IoT, like waste input, biogas generation, biogas agitation, biogas flow to monitor it, that can be monitored remotely. And we only require a lesser space than the other conventional model like bio-CNG or this. Next. Next. So some of our accomplishments, I would like to highlight this. We have got a combined experience of installing more than about 500 such plants in India, across India, and in different industries, hospitals, institutions, corporations, as we have already seen. And we are the only Indian company as per Infosys. And we are also been empaneled in the Greater Chennai Corporation, and we are authorized for the management of the wet waste management. And we also have a tie-up with the other companies. We have got MOU signed with other companies who are also empaneled for the wet waste management. And we are also into the EPR, Extended Product Responsibility, with our associate companies. And we are happy to share that we are the Swachh Bharat Ambassador for Salem and Salem Corporation and Madurai Corporation. And thanks to IWMA, we have also successfully organized the first energy Waste, Energy and Environment Expo in the month of December 2019 for the 3 days. And I would like to really thank Mr. Bhaskaran, who has been one of the who has been part of inauguration panel. And like MMA, we have done with the Chennai Corporation, IWMA, MMA, Pollution Control Board, and all major associations participated along with us. And we could bring almost around 70 participants throughout the country. And we are also creating that. As I was telling you, this is more than, if you see the, I was so impressed now the many colleges are taking this as their course on waste management. Our simple idea when we started this process was, it was a fragmented industry. It was I will not even call it as an industry. It was a fragmented. Somebody is buying, collecting, we don't know what was happening. But we all work together to make it as an industry. So when the waste management became an industry, that is going to be a parallel economy for the country. So what has been in the land with nobody has noticed anything, we have not given the importance anything on that, we are going to make it important. So we have already a wealth is available. So we want to only channelize it in different ways. And one other thing what we are talking about is the cluster technology. It's all, again, we have to pull together. See, this is, I also request the people like the IWMA and the members and the president and the chairman also to get some, in fact, they are already supporting us to take this along with the governments, local ULBs, wherever we have got the industrial corridors like SITCOs or CIS. So all the places we can have a common facility for giving the green fuel for the member industries at the lower cost on a sustainable way. This is our dream, and I'm sure this concept of cluster management is very appreciable, and we would like to take some comments how we can still improve on that. And next, Chetan next. And I'm very happy that we have also been featured in report on solid waste management practices by National Institute of Urban Affairs (NIUM) for the past 2 years, 1918 and 2018 and 19, by the work what we have done in Salem and